I don't want to have another bad episode. What's up, everyone? This is Sweet Canal. This is Mohammed.
And this is Luke.
And thank you for tuning in. Sweet Canal was sweet for you to listen to. Finally, we got back and we were able to record another episode, even though we ran into a lot of technical problems, such as that one. You know, sometimes cameras are difficult, very difficult to navigate. However, I forgot to hit the record button for the other side. And I'm back. In today's episode, we will try to cover not necessarily quantitative topics, but qualitative topics. In order to, it's not just like we have like about 9 topics in here. We're not gonna be able to cover all of them, but we're gonna be able to talk about almost each of them in a very as much as we can, or as much as covers the whole topic, I can say. So, the first topic I would like to take a hit at is tattoos. I don't have any tattoos by myself, but I'm not closed about the idea. I'm pretty open about it. As you can see, I am a Scorpio. So, I've been reading a lot about that. Back and forth, I just like tune in and tune out and check it out and see if there's anything that actually describes it or not.
So you've been reading about your astrological sign and how it connects with the planets and the stars, and you're trying to decipher if there's some reality to what they talk about.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
at the same
amazing.
time, I read a little bit about others as well and see if if just it's the same sentences but restructured for them or something like that.
What have you concluded?
I've concluded that it's kind of, in general, it is.
Okay.
But at the same time, I still have my own influence and experiences that may tailor that and make it different. Or make me like, how can I use it? Or maybe that's bad to do. I kind of like, it's not my guidance, but it's good to know about it.
I like the birthday book. The birthday book is specific to your date, and I think that's a really great overall explanation of the exact date you were born on the exact year. So I would check that one out and see what that says to you.
I'll definitely do it.
Yeah.
At the same time, I googled who died on the same day I was birthed, and I don't remember that person anymore. But he wasn't a person of influence for sure, but it was just a name in general. So there's a small mini joke I can say that says if someone died on that same day that you were birthed, that person would just like his life would transfer.
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
That's super cool.
That's very cool.
Where is that from?
It was just a joke online.
Okay.
It's not behind any belief. It's just like the online people with the memes and stuff.
Okay.
At the same time, if I was reincarnated, if I was reincarnated, it feels like I have been. It feels like I am an old soul sometimes. I've been like 2,000 years or more, or even way more than that. It feels like there was something in there.
Well, can I ask you, because I don't know,
Sure.
in your faith, are you guys reincarnated?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I still have the feeling.
Well, that's good. I think that is a boundary pusher for you with realizing that there's more than meets the eye, and I think that all of us learn those things, you know, as we find out.
It feels like I've been a samurai, a warrior
Cool.
or something.
Good. That's important, Mohammed. If you feel that is the kind of energy that speaks to you, that's really important. That is what drives us. That's
I
what
might
keeps us going.
I might die fighting a lion, so That's why
Well,
I got out crying.
All of
You know,
those visuals are great, you know.
Yeah.
They really can pump you up and keep you going.
Anyway,
It's true.
Yeah, I was the person behind the like defending the cave and stuff.
Hmm.
And then I'm
A
dead.
warrior, I'm sure. I believe in reincarnation.
At the same time, is it just reincarnation in one time, or is it just more than once? As soon as you die, you get out almost immediately. Do you stay and then get out again, or is it just once? Is it more than once? Those are kind of like my general questions about it. But I don't super believe, but I think that it might happen maybe once, or just once, that you may remember your life. And in our belief, when you are in the womb,
Hmm.
you may or you will see your whole life. You see your whole life, but as soon as you get out, you won't remember anything.
Amazing.
Yes. That puts me
That's
in.
really neat.
That's right. That's right. So how can we go to sleep? And sometimes, even though it's hot, we may use covers or sheets in order to cover ourselves and then go to bed. We rarely sleep without any covers,
Hmm.
and if we do, maybe we're super tired. But I've been thinking about that for a while, and I thought that those covers kind of resembles the womb
Yes.
in a way.
Yes.
That keeps you warm, something that's covering you,
Yes.
and then you'll be dead asleep. That's why cuddling is awesome.
So the blanket is a safety covering, like our
Safety
mother's
covering.
womb
That's
and
right.
skin, and it's been so ingrained in us that we are more likely to fall asleep if we have the covers on, unless we're extremely tired.
That's right.
I
That's right.
agree. I agree. I especially if it's a hot room, like cold sheets. Put them in the fridge. Put them in the freezer. Some people like really cold sheets.
Well, that's crazy, but yeah,
Put them in a
mine-
plastic bag. Put them in the freezer
and then just like cover yourself.
for 10
up.
seconds. 10 minutes. Get them cold.
That's right.
Some people like, or oppositely, they like a really, really cold room with really warm blankets.
That's right. That's I'm one of them. I like to wake up in the middle of the night and then turn on the AC.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
In the winter, if the heat is bearable, if the temperature is bearable, I may crack the window a little bit. So in order
Cool.
for the apartment to be
Yeah.
cold enough, and then I would use the cover to warm up.
Uh-huh.
But if it's super cold, I would need to turn the heat, but not too high, like 63 maybe. Or maybe even 60, so it wouldn't work too much.
Right.
And at the same time, I won't freeze to death.
Right.
That's for sure. Keep that.
Speaking of, I would like to, it's freezing to death and blankets and everything. Can I bring something up?
Yeah.
Okay, this has to do with sleeping, and I don't know how these people are actually sleeping, but as I have been driving through the city, Cameron and I realized that we've been seeing tents all over the place. We are seeing tents in forested areas off the highway, and we were seeing tents under overpasses and bridges. We are also now seeing individuals climbing up into the rafters of the bridges and sleeping overnight. Now, that is something that is very reminiscent of, the Red Hot Chili Pepper song, Under the Bridge. I mean, one of my favorite groups, but the song is so tragic because it speaks of California and the issues there in the ghetto, and also down off of downtown, off 7th Street, which is, it's got a specific name.
Which is?
I'm trying to think of it. I'm
Okay.
trying to think of it. It's really, really bad. Skid Row. It's where Skid Row is. Have you heard of Skid Row?
No.
Skid Row is a term that a lot of people here in America know, and it's directly connected to Los Angeles downtown. And it's where the homeless poverty meets the elite poverty, or the elite consumers in downtown. It's an actual street. It's like kind of over by the Latino areas where all the factories are, But what the purpose is that I see people here in Kansas City living in tents and living under bridges, like that song describes, in California where it's warm. It's very, very cold here. There's been lots of snow. This is, to me,
Yeah, it's been a lot of snow. I can notice that. Even though I am not relatively new, I've been here for about 4 years.
Yeah.
But I still see that this snow is too much. Like, it has been going on for a while. I used to remember it just going down once or twice and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like consecutive.
It's been excessive.
Excessive and 2 in a row, like on the same night. Like
2 storms coming through in one night.
It's not just like it has been a storm on Friday and then again on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
So it's been going on a lot. So the earth must be like shifting through something of so. Every once in a while we get extremely cold winters. Every like 6 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I live in it. It makes you feel like it feels strange. You come upon new feelings. I'm not saying new feelings, strange feelings. Like, I'm not sure what to feel with this weather. You know how much the weather affects how we feel at the same time. So, going back to blanket, the safety feeling. Blankets give you that feeling that you're in a womb, and then it will relax you enough to go to sleep. It's the same thing with the lock on your door. It just gives you the impression that the door is locked, and if someone tries to get in by opening it, they won't get in. But if they actually want to, they can just actually push through and crack open the door. I knew that because back in 2014, actually yesterday, I stumbled upon my police report where this break-in happened to me. So I was in 2014, I'd had my own apartment. It's just a living room and a kitchen and a bedroom and a restroom. That's it. It's pretty small.
Redbridge area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is pretty small, and all I needed is 2 charging stations. That means my chargers are only in 2 places. So one is next to the bed and one is next to the TV. I did not need to put it anywhere else. I had my time. It was well organized.
That's
I had
nice.
a printer in there, a steady well, and I had I put like a red cloth. I'm not sure what is it called, a green screen for you, in order to put behind you, and then put a different background.
Yeah.
I can say an average good TV, and balcony was, I think, empty. So I enjoyed the apartment so much, and I felt safe to a degree. And I had a very old neighbor. She's home all the time, and she hears everything, and then I felt like she's gonna call the cops over anything or any sound. Anyway, one night I was having a shower, which is the place where I actually relax and let my guards down. And I had my speaker just like the one you showed me earlier, but a little bit bigger. But you know, it's enjoyable. And I cracked it on the highest volume. I was having a shower, and then it was awesome and so on. And I heard a sound. It wasn't much that will get my attention, but it wasn't much to make me get out of the shower. At the same time, was enough to get my attention. So I hurried up, and I got my towel on and went to the door. What I saw is the door is broken. My door is not the casual normal doors that you find in apartment houses. It's actually heavy, like hotel doors. And that was broken. And the lock, it seems like when the police came and the manager came, they said it's a sledgehammer or something, or someone has a boot with like metal under it. So I think he got it, or he got it in 2 hits. maybe three. Yeah, one, two, and then the third one opens it.
Wow.
So I had my garbage by the door because I was getting ready to get it out that day. So what he did, or she, cracked the door open and they turned the lights, maybe heard me in the shower and then left.
Wow.
I'm like, why my apartment? Like, I am on the second floor, and at the same time, my apartment is not first one.
Right.
You know, the police came, there were two of them. I'm like, they said maybe they saw that you have a nice TV, and I'm like, the guy under me have a nicer TV, and I can actually see it. Mine, you cannot see much of it, it's just a corner. So just like, okay. I said, he opened the light so he can lift his fingerprints. I said, we don't have enough resources for that. Like, we don't use our money for that or something. And then I called the detective who was responsible of investigating it, and I said, there is a coffee shop near the apartment complex, which he may use that route for it. Can you maybe check that time or something? Say, if we checked, he might not be there. At the same time, he would be pixelated, and only the FBI has enough technology in order to enhance that image. I just like, okay, maybe that's done for me. I went to the apartment complex management people thing, and they did not even give much attention for it until the manager, after hours, he came back to my home and they changed the lock for me. The door, I took a picture of it. I hope I can pull it up and like post it here or something. The door was like fractured. It's been like, it was a really hard hit.
Mm.
So all in all, it was good. So after, yeah,
sounds pretty crazy.
yes, I started visiting my friends a lot, like way much than usual, and then just like spend the whole time over there, and just go back whenever I need to sleep.
Did you move?
Yeah.
Where was it? By the golf course?
It was around that. It was Willow Creek Apartments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel it was very directed at you?
It felt like that, and I talked to my professor about that actually. I told him, yeah, I just had my apartment break into a blah blah blah, and I said, is it directed at me? He said, if a person who's directed at you, he don't want to deal with you twice. He will just get there in one time and face you instead of just like getting back there twice. That kind of gave me a little bit of comfort, but at the same time I said, maybe that person just came there to break the door and go away. Maybe my music was too loud and got them mad enough to break the door, and that's it. Just like to throw me off my edge or something. Or maybe it just happened. Somebody wanted to break into an apartment, and then somebody's there, and then they left.
I'm sorry, that's a real scary thing. I'm fortunate to not have had that happen. So, it's good.
Yeah, it would make you start like checking
Really
the door.
paranoid.
Yeah,
I already
super
do
paranoid.
that. I'm already paranoid, and I am. When I was a child, this is really sad. I got uprooted from living on the plaza. My dad worked around the corner at the fire station right by Andre's
I didn't know
Chocolate.
that.
You know, on Main Street, right there by where the Board of Trade used to be in the library, right up here, right up the street, right here.
Yeah.
So I lived in some apartments right behind Andre's Chocolates, and my dad worked at the fire station right next to Andre's Chocolates. So we had a very nice little setup. All of a sudden, at 6 years old, 7 years old, 6 years old, I'm uprooted and moved from the visitation parish. I was a little kindergartner, preschooler, out to St. Thomas More, and I was living on a horse and bison ranch. My dad started, and I had nobody to hang out with, nobody to play with. So when I was little, we were so far out in the boonies, I would look every night, multiple times out my window, because it was a gravel road, and I was very fearful. that we were so far away from society that we were an easy target. And so, I mean, it was definitely obsessive. It was obsessive how many times I went to the door to check the door to make sure that it was locked. Indeed, I was very fearful about not knowing my space and surroundings.
I mean, if they do something, they will get caught, but it's after it's done. It's not before.
Yeah, I want to be around to catch those son of a guns. I don't want them taking me down.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. So, after I moved out to a new apartment, I found a nice tool, which is basically a stick. I'm not saying a stick.
Oh.
Stick that barricades the door.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it works. It works to just keep them there. They would have to actually use an actual force in order to get it, and I still use it to this day.
Mhm.
It kind of gives me the comfort feeling, like the
Mhm.
blanket feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to where we first started, which is like about 15 minutes ago. Tattoos. Since I am a Scorpio, I thought if I don't have any tattoos now. Not that I know of. Actually, I don't. I cannot see the back of my head, so maybe I have one that
No,
I
you
don't know
don't.
about.
You
Okay,
don't.
I don't. Okay, cool. If I needed to, if I wanted to, if I had to do a tattoo,
Mhm.
which I might, would be my significant other's name
Mm.
in English,
Mm-hmm.
and or a scorpion.
Okay.
Since I'm a Scorpio by birth,
Right.
that's something I won't regret.
Okay.
And her name, I'm gonna be there for my whole life.
No, that's
It's
really
planned
nice.
on that.
That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So
Okay.
I would, if I do that kind of tattoo, it will be a really nice Valentine's Day gift,
Yeah.
which will really far behind. By the time that this episode gets out, it's about like last month.
Hey, so, Cameron, she has tattoos, which I very, very much like, though I do not have any tattoos. And one reason is because I don't think I would look very good with tattoos. And then secondly, I never really knew what to get. And then thirdly, my grandfather said that he would turn over in his grave if I ever got a tattoo. So he is my buddy, so I'm listening to him. But Cameron did ask me last night, amazingly.
Nice.
She brought this up. She said, "What would you get if you got a tattoo?" I said, "I'm not getting a tattoo." But then she moved it forward. She said, "Well, how about a golf club or a golf ball?" And I'm like, "What, behind my ear or what?" I'm like, "No." I am not a tattoo individual. I don't think that I would look good with tattoos. I always thought what would happen if I gangstered up and did a bunch of tattoos and just went to the other extreme. You know, like tattoos in my eye, little tears coming down, little crosses on my knuckles, some words written out like
Word.
word, yeah, word.
Yeah, WRRD.
Yeah, I don't know. I think tattoos are really interesting, and people who get them can become very connected to them. I mean, I know Cameron has animals and some objects on her back, and those are real pretty. I enjoy them. They all have a story. For her, they're special. For me, to enjoy them, they're special. But I don't think that I don't know what I would put on me that would be special to me. I mean, I'm a lion. I'm a Leo. Would I put a lion on me? I don't think so. I would.
It's not gonna be here or in your face or visible. It's for you eventually, so you can't put it in somewhere that's not visible.
Do you think it's important to have some sort of special indicator of who you are? I like for medical reasons, like an indicator if you were. The only thing that really stays if you decompose are your teeth and some of your bones.
Okay.
So the skin, you're not going to be able to tell who it was with the tattoo. It is just a pleasurable thing for you and someone else, I think.
Yeah, it's not an actual identity.
Oh,
It's an expression.
your comment on your lady, your wife, that is real smart. And so I think I would do that. So I think I would do Cameron, Sky, and Oliver. I think that's what I would do.
Yeah.
That would make me feel solid there.
The second question as well.
Okay.
Where would you put it?
I put it on my neck.
Like,
Down my ear. Cameron, Sky, Oliver. Those are my babies.
I thought about it. It would be somewhere here or the other side, shoulder blade.
Okay.
Felt like because in that place, that
Maybe on my heart, on
Yeah.
my chest. It's not Cameron, Sky, Oliver. Yeah, real small in cursive or something.
Yeah,
I'd have to shave.
with a heartbeat on it, but that isn't the actual heartbeat of one of them that you recorded with an EKG or something. That would be neat. And I'll put it here because like the
Wait, you can have recordings on tattoos?
Hold on.
What did you just say?
You know the EKG, the machine for the
Yeah.
heart. So it
Oh,
does that, and
okay,
then you
okay.
take a picture of one of the pulses,
Oh, okay.
and then put it
That's a tattoo.
yeah, as a tattoo. And then
Interesting.
under it
Okay.
or above it or on the side of
Okay,
it, the
got it.
name. I got the idea
No, that's a good idea.
because somebody's mom left a voicemail to her or him,
Mhm.
and then she died. And
Mhm.
then the recording from the recording like vibration
Yeah.
where the sound is,
Mhm.
they made it into a tattoo and she put it like here,
Mm.
which is a really good idea.
Mhm.
So it's really
It's really-
something personal connected.
Well, it does, like we were talking about pumping people up. It can. I mean, a tattoo can pump you up. If you are, I don't know, I mean, if you're there's got to be something inside of you that moves you, and there's a visual symbol that it refers to. If you were to get that on you, or it wasn't able to come off, but you felt very empowered with having it on you, that could make a big difference in your life. I think it could. Whatever works, you know.
That's right.
There's so many different things that work.
So if you had to get a tattoo, you know what to get. And if
Yeah,
I had to get a
thanks.
tattoo, I know what to get.
I do. I think it's incredible that I agree with you. That's it. That's all. Because I ain't having any more. Those are my 2 children. I will never have any more. And you know, I expect that I will be with my girl forever because we talk about it a lot. It's, you know, a relationship is really a lot of work. You really have to want to do the work. You want to make it better. You want to stay together. You want to support your children. It's a lot of work. You want to get them everywhere they got to go, plus get you to where you got to go.
That's right. That's right. It's never too late to say hello. And
It's never too late to say hello.
it's never
to
too
what?
late to say I love you.
Oh,
Hello to
no.
an old friend.
Okay.
Like last night, somebody knocked on my door and I was like, "Am I in trouble?" As usual. And I got out. It's Michael, which is my neighbor, and he just knocked the door to say hello. Hey, it's been a while since I saw you last time. I was
That's
like,
nice.
"Yeah, thanks. How you doing?" It's like, "Hey, you still doing Sweet Canal?" I was like, "Yeah." That's it. Which time? I said, "Still every Wednesday as usual," but still have not
Cool.
produced or got out any episode
Oh, for this season.
for this season.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have them. Saved, but I'm gonna
I know,
produce
I
them
do.
at a certain time.
Yeah.
I don't want to get the pressure and I have to like put it every week and so on.
Okay.
I don't like that kind of pressure.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay. Oh, I'm a big proponent on cutting down on the pressure because there are times in my day where I feel like heart palpitations, where I'm fortunate that it doesn't turn into something else that drops me to my knees into the ground and I say sayonara for good. I really don't want that day to come for a long, long time. I feel, if possible, I can stick around for another 30 years or 40 years. Oh, that's only 60. I hope it's 50 years, 70 years I could stick around. If I could live to be 100 years old, that would be really, really nice.
I wouldn't. I want it. I want.
You
to,
wouldn't want that?
I want to live up to the point until I cannot take care of myself. I want to die then.
Well, when you're not taking care of yourself, are you still able to talk to people, be coherently, or is it because your physical body has failed?
I think the physical thing.
Okay, so are you still, has your quality of life come down so much that you cannot still hold conversations with your loved ones?
Yeah, somewhere there.
Are you able to still interact with community, and can you still learn things?
Yeah, if it's then yes.
If your
fine.
brain is still functioning.
Still functioning, and I am be able to get up and eat.
Yeah, I don't want to be a what they call vegetable.
Yeah, I'm not
I
into
don't want
vegetable.
that.
I mean,
Being vegetable state is not what we're looking for, and that is a really sad thing because so many people have to see their loved ones in that situation. But if I guess the way to correct that is to give verbal and written permission to end life support if you enter a vegetable state and they can't resurrect you or can't
do you
revive
know?
you.
Is that the DNR thing?
Do
know
not
that?
resuscitate. That's correct.
Yeah. So they take the decision for you.
Well, I think that you agree to it beforehand. It's like maybe something legal with your lawyer and your physician. Or
Okay,
maybe
I
it's
gotcha.
in your will.
Let's hope not to come up there.
No. I don't want that for.
Well, yeah. I'll let you know after the episode. Anyways,
Alright.
if we tracked back to 11 years, which is to 2008.
Mhm.
My dad back then was alive. I was in high school. That's was like a junior high, which is the second year before the last year. Our high school was 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So one day, just like my dad used to be a smoker, and one day he was just laying down in the
Tobacco smoker.
Yes. He was laying down in the living room, and I'm just like, it didn't feel right. And just like, I told my mom, can we get him something? And we got him yogurt. And he did not finish it, just ate a lot of it and then went back to his nap or something. And in the afternoon, one of my friends dropped by, and then we just like went out. We don't have cars at that time. Went out and just like started walking around the neighborhood. And then I think I saw my brother's car. And then I went back, and there was an ambulance and a crowd, and I'm like, what was happening?
How long were you gone?
What?
How long were you gone on this walk?
Not too much, but
Oh,
it just
man.
basically as soon as I left, maybe.
Oh man.
I got there. There's an ambulance and a crowd, and just like everyone is paranoid and everything. They got my dad out in the ambulance, and they took him to a hospital. I think he got a stroke, and then he stayed in the bed for a while. He's like artificially breathing. He's not there anymore.
Oh my gosh.
So I think on Friday day, he passed away, which is I think before 60, which is
Before 60.
I think so. I'm not sure, like
You
exactly
think he was
age.
59 years old?
Maybe somewhere there, like not 60. If it's 60, it's 61, 62. It's not more than that. So it's sad, you know. The family went down and everything. Yeah, it's not
I
a
had
good
no
thing.
idea.
Yeah, it's not a good thing that's happened. But one way to justify it is to say if he got out of that stroke, he would be at home being taken care of by someone else.
Right.
And that's for his dignity, he went away instead of being in that
Right.
situation. And
I'm sorry.
that's one way to make his death make me feel okay, like justified in a way. So I think if the same thing happened with me, I think I'll go the same way, which is not to be taken care of by someone else. Just go away. If I can walk today, I can drive today, I can fix my own lights and fix my own food. If I cannot the next day, I want to be out.
I understand.
God bless your soul, Dad.
Yes. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with me because I did not know that about you, and that is really, really challenging. This was not that long ago. This was 2014.
No, 2008.
In 2008. Okay.
Yeah, that was way.
It was
ago.
10. It was 10, 11 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, that's still very difficult.
Yeah, affected a lot. it affected a lot, but I still tried to do things, and I'm here.
Yes, and he's happy that you're here.
It's never too late.
That's right.
So, to get to, I want to check the time first. How
Okay.
much we got into this episode? Okay. I want to start by saying anything that gets people's attention is powerful enough to influence. About last semester, there was a guy next to the library holding a holy book and yelling stuff. I'm sure you remember him. And
Was it just one day?
Oh, it's not one day.
Multiple days?
I think so.
Okay.
But I don't remember one day for sure.
Okay.
So he was practicing his freedom of speech, and standing above a chair, a porch. What is that called?
A pedestal or a podium?
Yes, and then he's just talking, shouting religious stuff and saying like you're doing things wrong. He's talking about people's sexual orientation. If he can talk like forever if he likes to, and nobody would give him attention. But as soon as one person gives him attention, and then another person gives him attention, and then a third person will give him attention, now he has attention, which is the first thing to do, and then the second thing is convey or start a message. So as soon as he started to get your attention, he's gonna start to convey or pass his message on to you. If you never give it attention, or will not affect you, or will not get to you. So I'm not against or with what he said. I'm just saying that he got attention. So just like our reality star, he's sitting in an office now, the highest office in the United States. He got attention. People's attention. I used to watch Instagram videos just making fun of him, and then eventually he's now in the office. So he got enough influence, enough attention to influence in a way. So that's basically how branding works. If you see a brand a lot, a soap brand or a shampoo brand or a water brand, that you see a lot of commercials for it. And then you go to a grocery store, you were trying to pick a brand, and you may stumble upon that brand, and most likely you pick it because it's the most familiar with it. You saw it a lot on TV, it must be good. So that's basically what happened with this guy. I think, at least. As much as my own judgment and experience would say that guy got into his place. With the other political stuff, that it's not my problem, or but
He was the most familiar. He was the person that people have known the longest and the most familiar. We've seen his rise and we've seen his fall. He's had numerous bankruptcies. Who would think that a person who's been bankrupt should be running a large corporation or country? So it's very interesting. You're very right about that people opt for what seems most familiar when things don't make sense. And Trump seemed most familiar in a very nonsensical campaign and election term. So I think that he was the safest bet. That's why he won. He was most familiar. We see him, on television in different ways.
I heard someone on the radio say maybe this is the new way to run this country.
I don't think so.
It's being studied.
It is being studied heavily, I'm sure, but I do think that there was going to come a time when there's the dumb Trump. I mean, if you just look at the State of the Union address, which really bothered me because of his cheer and his cronies' cheer for the gas and the fracking and the oil industries, the mining industries staying on top, and us being number one in the gas industries globally. That is not the direction that I'm wanting to go, or that we need to go as human beings. We need to be reversing that, and people like Donald Trump are real The big problem is that with all of his golf courses, concerning my own entrepreneurial work, which is very much geared towards helping humanity relieve themselves of the slavery that utility companies have on us, and that we are missing the communication that has been communicated to us, prophesized to us across the world, that the sun is here and it's welcoming of our usage of it and our harnessing of it, and that it can change our entire world and life if we were to capture it and basically harvest it and direct it appropriately. Well, Trump is in a position where he could make such a big difference there, but he chooses not to, and he goes the opposite way. So it really, really bothered me last week when I watched the State of the Union.
It happened there as well. You know, the handshake. Can we do it?
It's real quick. It's so quick. There are multiple handshakes going on at the State of the Union. I didn't see Donald doing the handshake as much as I saw all the people around him doing the handshakes. They were very quick. There were multiple handshakes, and they're all oriented with the Masons and a variety of different, what are they called? Secret societies.
I heard about that a long time ago, and I watched the boring 60 episodes of, like, you know, the world is being controlled by some society, and then you have to make a deal, the devil, sell your soul, and stuff like that. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
I've never been offered, so I don't think it's
I haven't either, but I have done the research, and my girlfriend is big into the research there, the occult and the different kinds of societies. She studies that. I do too, so that I can understand how they're all working against us or with us. And most of them are working against us. So how do we work with them more cooperatively so that we can get certain things to happen? That's my reasoning for finding out and learning about it. So I can, if you're educated about something, then you know how to approach it better.
It reminds me of Supernatural when Sam goes to the crossroad and then he does something, and then one of the demons
Is it a movie?
Supernatural, yeah, it's a long series. I think it's still going.
It's a series.
Yeah, they started in Kansas, Lawrence.
Really?
The first episode.
How many seasons are they?
I think like
10?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been around for a while. It's called Supernatural.
Supernatural.
What, is it on Netflix or?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
Okay,
look it up.
cool.
It's pretty neat.
Good. I think. Are we gonna like that? You
It's
think?
supernatural stuff.
Okay,
so
good.
It starts with Dean and Sam hunting demons,
Okay.
and their
Is it-
dad used to do that, and then one of the demons take their mom,
Oh.
and then the demons does not come as demons. It's not an alien. They come as like
Regular people.
Yeah, regular people,
Mhm.
human form. And then the
Interesting.
smoke comes out of their mouth.
Oh my gosh.
That's the demon part.
Right.
Wow. In order to keep that demon in there, they have a certain tattoo. In order to keep the demon out, there's a tattoo.
Amazing.
And the same thing, angels as well.
Angels and demons.
Of course.
It's
yeah.
all supernatural.
It's all supernatural.
Well, that's
I find
definitely
it
what I
interesting.
believe in, is the supernatural, all the things that come together. This is amazing you're telling me about this. So, yeah, I mean, when I pray to the powers that be. You know, when I communicate, when someone other than myself, or like my family members, and I'm really trying to gather energy that is mine. It's all of ours. It's in the universe. I mean, like, there's energy patterns, wavelengths that are going right now between Muhammad and I, and between, there's somebody out there on the cross over there outside of our room. They're getting our wavelengths. We're all intermingled within wavelengths. It depends on what wavelength you want to catch or ride. And it is similar to the Roy G. Biv, because colors of the rainbow have different frequencies, and wavelengths. So
That's right.
depending on, like, if you're an upbeat individual, you're going to have a different color that is a higher frequency than a different color that would have a lower frequency if you were kind of low energy, or you're kind of more quiet or maybe negative. Overall, I have some of both in me, with the positive light, brighter light being much more prevalent. It's an interesting concept to think about in ourselves, our wavelengths and our attitudes as energy, and what those would fluctuate at or vibrate at if we were measuring those as light. Don't you think?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's right. There is a lot of energy in the universe.
Yeah.
It's like
There's a lot of...
going around, coming here and there and there.
That's right.
There is a lot coming from the sun, even
That's
though
right.
receiving
That's
2
right.
billionth of its energy, but that's enough to give the Earth 99.9 of its actual energy.
Yeah, we have everything that we need.
Yeah, from a little bit of the sun. If we get a little bit more,
We don't want any more.
we're done.
We're done. We want exactly what we're getting, and you know what? We're getting exactly what we're getting because that's what we're getting. Like my girl says to our little baby, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So you know what? We're getting exactly what we need, and we're not doing anything with it. I mean, we are, but it's slow. We're using 2% of our world's energy is derived from renewables. Maybe it's up to 2.225 now. It's slow and low. That's all I can say. Like, we need to increase our conversion rate. We need to increase the overall interest in the products. Maybe we need to make them more cool, I guess, to make it more fun and exciting.
We need more greenhouses.
We need more greenhouses.
That's right.
Right.
I do my own contribution of the recycling. I still
Good.
do it. I'm back on it,
Good.
by the way.
Good.
I think on season 1 I said I kind of gave up.
Yeah, I remember for a
Now
little
I'm
bit.
back on it.
Good. Where are you taking your stuff?
Well, actually, I bring it to UMKC.
Really?
So whenever I go to school, I have a full box or a bag. I
Mhm.
just bring it with me to school, and I bring one every other week, and that's just me.
That's
And
great.
if more people do it,
Right.
it will be a lot more. And gladly, and I'm happy, super happy about it. When I open the big bin,
Mhm.
it's almost all the time full with
Here-
different stuff.
Here at school?
Yes.
Is there a recycling bin here?
There's a big recycling bin.
Cool.
There's
Where is it?
small recycling bins all
Oh,
around.
right.
Yeah, all around campus, the small ones, you can fit papers in it. But
Mhm.
if you have a box, you're not gonna spend 10 minutes just shredding it in order to fit it into the slot.
Right.
You would go to a bigger bin.
Yeah.
There are actually 2 in Hag Hall,
Okay.
Royal Hall, 2 in
Okay.
2 in Royal Hall, 1 on the 3rd floor, 1 on the 1st, and there's 1 in the middle Knickers Library,
Mhm.
and it's bigger, and you can fit an actual box in it.
Cool.
And almost every time I go there it's full. But
Great.
not with the same stuff like
Good.
from last week. No, it gets emptied every other day maybe. But it's almost all the time full, which makes me happy because that means people are recycling.
Totally. And on that point, the reason that we are not getting paid for our recycling, are we in Missouri getting paid for any recycling?
I don't think so.
Okay, in California, in Iowa, I do believe there are states all around us that they're getting paid for the recycling. This year, next year, we need to focus on 2019, 2020, getting a bill into, the state house that gets passed around, people getting pennies back for bringing in their cans and their glass, because oftentimes, I know Hawaii, I know California, Arizona, Nevada, they all have recycling rules. They all do. Montana, Wisconsin.
If a company does recycle within itself, it will get some taxes cut.
Okay.
But as an individual, we're talking here about
Right.
as an individual.
Yes.
Your personal influence, personal
Yes.
impact.
So we are, what? It's big.
Yes.
It's big because when you take your cans and glass to a recycling spot in California or any of these sites that I'm talking about that do this, you get money back. I was getting $5 and $10 and $11, $12, $15 back for 3 or 4 bags of of cans and glass, and that's a big deal.
In Saudi Arabia, you can sell your cans if you go to a place just like that.
Exactly.
You can sell cans. Now,
That's
I'm not
good.
sure about papers or plastic
Glass.
or glass,
But
but cans for sure, and
that's
has
awesome.
been there for a long time.
Look at that. Look at that. I'm so
remember
glad
that.
that you bring that up.
Because there are poor people everywhere in the world, and I remember that some people just spend their time
That's right.
picking up cans
That's
from
right.
the street,
That's right.
which kind of cool. It cleans up the street.
That's right.
Gives them something to do.
That's right.
We're not super happy about them being in that situation or that level of poverty, but they still can get something out of because they are in the streets. If something like that happens in here, maybe things will get better. People will pay more attention, especially with those beer cans.
Everywhere, like all over the ground, and people throwing them out. Like, instead of throwing them out of your car, when you lose a football game, you're not acting like much of a chief when you throw your can out the window onto Mother Nature. Where is the chief in you when you do that?
That's right.
I'm sorry, that really bothers me in this city that we have a mascot as the chief, and maybe there's not enough being done positively as far as outreach between the company, which is a NFL football team, and the population. I'd say the largest American Indian population together is at Haskell and Lawrence. So I don't know. I don't want to bring that up because I'll get off on a tangent on that, but
It feels like it, but you can say whatever you want. That's what's good about this program. And this school, we have the
it's
freedom of speech that we can talk about whichever we want as long as we don't cuss on air.
right.
I can turn off this mic and this camera, and then but what goes to you is cleaner.
The African Americans have had their time, and thankfully so, to communicate their pain over and over this last decade, and now into the 21st, we're still dealing with it. And so we also have the American Indians, whose land we occupy.
I feel so bad about that. I hated my history class.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. It is so bad. So this is, trying to create some equilibrium and trying to do what's right and trying to help other people do what's right. I was going to write an article on how we can get our peers to be more politically active and how we can get them to be more involved with decision making, that writing letters to your congressman and picketing and creating a voice amongst an unheard group is so important and so doable and makes great change in your community. I'm kind of right now with the newspaper focusing on unemployment and job fairs and what we can do to increase our value as individuals. How do we get jobs out of college? But with this situation, it bothers me a great deal. So.
I had like 3 thoughts about things to talk about, but it just like
What?
went away as soon as you got it towards the end of yours. Maybe we should take a moment. Okay, this program comes to you from UMKC campus, which is University of Missouri, Kansas City. You can tune in on the live version, which is on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Central Time for this semester on k-ro.org. You can actually check out the video version on YouTube. You can look up Sweet Canal or Local, and then you'll find some of these episodes which are coming to you. You can also find it on
Spectrum, Channel 17 here in Kansas City. Mohammed's been working diligently to get up our episodes, and so we have a good variety up, and they're shown throughout the day on Spectrum 17.
I am connected with the KCUR now, and
Great.
I got two of their radio broadcasts, and I'm gonna put them up maybe today or tomorrow if we get the chance to do that.
Excellent.
Very awesome.
Well,
What about
I want to say one thing. What do we got time-wise?
we got 6 minutes.
Okay. Our opinions do not reflect the opinions of the university, and don't hold it against us. We are just two individuals who are taking a very broad and a very detailed look at what we face as human beings, trying to put a positive spin for the most part on it, hence the name Sweet Canal, something sweet to listen to. And it's very important that our friends around the world realize that this is the start of something much, much bigger, and hopefully you will join us on our journey. It is our intention to continue doing this sort of work. We actually enjoy our program. We enjoy each other, talking to each other and sharing info, and we enjoy providing this content for you, our at-home viewers and listeners.
That's right. People in Saudi Arabia, such as
That's
my
right.
friends, they watch
Thank
this,
you.
and they enjoy it. I
Wonderful.
mean, as far as I know, they say, "Oh, it's cool. Do you have a new one? Do you have a new one? Do you have a new one?"
Good.
To be honest, on the beginning of this semester, I did not have any intention of doing season 2, like zero intention. And then I met a classmate who said, "Are you gonna do your program?" I said, "I'm not sure." And then another classmate, "Are you gonna do another program?" I said, "I'm not sure." And then I meet Luke and said, "Are you gonna do?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, I will join you." And then I said, "All right, we're gonna do another season." So it happens. I spend my whole Christmas break knowing that I'm not gonna do that. So I just like things change, and you can roll with it.
Well, Muhammad rolled with it, so Muhammad is definitely the individual to thank, that you guys can see this up on Spectrum 17. It's a big deal, and just that it's up on YouTube as well, because Muhammad's gone through and edited all this work so that it's clean and smooth. I'm wanting to make sure that people are safe out there. I don't know, I guess things are going to get really icy as usual.
Yeah.
And I have a baby in the back seat typically, and then a daughter in the back seat and a lady in the front, and it seems like a lot of responsibility.
That's right.
So remember, you're cruising with other people around you and with you, and a lot of importance there.
By the time this episode is out, there won't be any snow around you. But if there is, drive carefully. And if there isn't any snow, still drive carefully. And treat your women's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's my shirt says. This is what a feminist looks like. Looks like just like me. I'm a normal person. So is females, individuals. They have rights, feelings, and opinions. Please respect them.
That's awesome. That
As
is
you
a
respect
progressive.
each other.
That's right. That's a progressive perspective in a society that has really pushed women in a world, not just a society or America, but around the world we've really pushed women into a horrible box. My girlfriend is a feminist, and my mom is too, and I have those thoughts in my mind, or those desires to make sure that things are equal. Am I a feminist? I feel equality is important. I don't want women being paid less. There are women that are doing way more work than men are doing.
I believe that.
Yeah, there are women that are doing way more work than men are doing and getting paid less and the work is more important, and the boss just signs off on it. So no, I'm not into that. I'm really, really kind of think of a Marxist with regard to getting paid. I mean, like, every person has his value, and he should be paid for his value and his wares.
Either give them more money or give us less money. It should make it equal.
Well, I just think that things need to be
Looked
set
at.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Set up so that it's much more appropriate.
One of my anchor teachers says we need about 200 years in order to get on the same level.
200 years?
It feels like so much, though.
That's a little long.
That's way long, and we won't live for that.
No, I think we're going to do it quicker than that. I think it can be done in a paradigm shift. In a paradigm shift, something happens like that. So it ain't going to be 200 years. That would be a paradigm shift glitch in the matrix if you looked at the whole spectrum of time. 200 years is very small. I feel that we're talking about a day. I think a paradigm shift can happen in a day.
So it's not just women getting their rights, it's not just men getting their rights, it's not just a certain ethnic group getting their rights, it's about human rights and actual dignity. And that's how we gonna wrap up this episode.
There you go.